Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli. A win, led every lap of the race, started from pole position. Kimi Antonelli leads a championship by 66 points from Lewis Hamilton. Kimi Antonelli leads his teammate by 68 points. Kimi Antonelli. What a man. What a drive. I have nothing bad to say about him at all. He done a phenomenal job. Safety car restarts. Standing start restart as well. He dominated. He bridged the gap to... There were no competitors for Kimi in that Monaco Grand Prix at all. Ferrari couldn't get anywhere near him. And as soon as they thought they would, he just put in some storming laps. He kept them at arm's length the entire time. Credit where credit is due. What a drive from such a young driver. I think I say this week in, week out. I don't know what is going to stop him. I don't think there is anything that can stop him. Certainly not George Russell. I'll speak about him more in a minute. But certainly not George Russell. Lewis is looking in the form of his life in the last couple years, at least. This is probably the best we've seen him in the last few years. And that Ferrari just has nothing to say to the Mercedes. P2 though, for Hamilton, another P2, consecutive podium finishes. He is showing that people are talking about retirement. No. He's just getting started. He's just getting started and he's just putting his fingerprints down on this Ferrari team now. They're really seeing what it's like to work with a champion. And it is a phenomenal sight to see when everything's working in tandem for him. You can see the way he was throwing the car into the corners. Like, he's looking really confident, and he'll probably take this into Barcelona, where, being said, Ferrari probably won't be the best performers there. Catalonia is very much an engine-based track, and as we've seen, the Ferrari is probably the most down on power. So to expect them to do anything great is overestimating yourselves. But hey, you never know what happens. With the ADUO upgrades that they've been permitted, maybe Ferrari will be able to bring something extra to this Barcelona race. Hopefully they'll be bringing something to Austria, but again, we'll speak about that closer to the time. Hadjar finished in P3. What an eventful race for him. He had engine trouble from I want to say lap 10 or even lap 15, and he was managing that. He frustrated Russell for... my words can't even describe how much he would have frustrated Russell. He gave him absolutely no opportunity to overtake. He's put his car in this right place every single time. He did get a penalty, I believe. No. Did he get a penalty? Hadjar was meant to get a penalty, but he didn't because it was found NFA, no further action for leaving too much of a gap on a safety car. And then also there was no further action for them apparently touching the car during red flag conditions. He wasn't actually punished with anything. They said that there was nothing of note that was noteworthy enough, or nothing that was really worth condemning. So he managed to maintain his P3, which obviously he got promoted to after Gasly. Gasly, man. I feel sorry for him. I really do. He finished P3 on track, but he had 2 5-second time penalties added to his time because he was speeding in the pit lane. And the speeding in the pit lane, that was something that happened to a lot of the drivers. I think there were 5 or 6 different drivers who were all caught out with speeding in the pit lane because what happened is that they all were cutting the corner when they were entering the pit lane, which actually shortened the distance that they check for they check the average speed. So once you cut the distance, because it's obviously a bit shorter, it's the system's taken into account obviously a shorter time. You're doing it probably the same speed you were already doing, like you would normally do, but because it's less of a distance, it's saying that you're going a little bit faster. So they were all caught out in that. It was Hamilton, Colapinto, Gasly twice, I think Piastri, and George Russell himself as well. So yeah, Gasly was really, really unfortunate. It was, I think they're even appealing this. They have a right to a review. I think they've exercised that. I think they're going to speak with the FIA and see what can be done about that. I don't think anything will actually come of it, because there are loads of other drivers who are also penalised for the same thing. But we'll see what they say. Now, Russell, if Russell didn't have bad luck in Monaco, he would have no luck at all. Crofty said it, and now I will say it too. Like that was so unfortunate. He got the same speeding penalty as Gasly and the rest, but as he got into the pits, because of the confusion that was occurring, with obviously it was safety car, they just had Kimi Antonelli come in. As he's coming into the pits, he's stopped in his box and they've touched the car, meaning that he's not actually, he's not done his 5-second time penalty. Because they've worked on the car, which means now, because he's failed to serve his 5-second time penalty, he got a drive-through penalty, which he then had to obviously serve straight after the safety car restart, and it dropped him from what was P3 or P4 at the time to P14, out of the points, and another dismal showing for him. It's back-to-back 0-pointers, losing a lot of ground on Antonelli, who's won both of those races in the time. So he's lost 50 points minimum just from those two races through, I want to say no fault of his own. Last race in Canada, that was engine issues. This week, it's these penalties, and it's unfortunate. He's now 68 points behind Kimi, and do I see him making a comeback? I'm not too sure. The momentum is all in Kimi Antonelli's side. He's off the back of win after win after win. Russell really has to work himself back up. He wasn't on pace at all throughout this whole weekend, to be fair. Antonelli had his number on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. Russell has a lot of work to do in order to really get his head back in the game and back in his championship fight. 68 points behind already. That's a big margin to be able to try and overcome. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the way Antonelli is driving right now, I don't see it happening. I really, really don't. That being said, when we look at Mercedes and we look at that power, I need to also hope that with these new upgrades, the field would be a bit closer together. Now, I say this because Monaco Grand Prix lap 10, we were already seeing lapped cars. We were seeing cars being lapped by the lead driver on lap 10 of lap 78. There were meant to be 78 laps in a race, and lap 10 we're already seeing lapped cars. Like, how are blue flags being issued in the first 10, 12 laps of the race? Like, it doesn't make the racing fun. You've automatically killed off half of the field before the first half of the race is even done. It's not entertaining. And obviously, yes, I know it's the new regulations, so a lot of the teams, obviously, everyone's getting acclimated to and understanding how to improve their car and obviously their performance and try and bring the upgrades up in a timely manner. But I really hope that towards the end of the season, the gaps are a lot closer than they are right now. And I mean, again, maybe even it might even have to pour into next season, but I'll give it some time. Because I can't be too strict and too angry at this when, again, everyone's brand new to these regulations. So I'm going to be the benefit of the doubt for now. But hopefully I want to see some improvement in trying to narrow the gap between the best teams and the worst teams right now. And I guess this also does tie into, well, the fact that all of these teams are trying to get to know these rules and regulations is also coming down to reliability, and that's why we're seeing so many of these reliability issues. I don't think there's been a single race this season so far where every team has completed it, where there's been a full 22 race finish. Not yet. I don't think so. I think there's always been a reliability issue somewhere, and Monaco was no different. We had Max Verstappen, lap 1, race start. He couldn't even get off the line properly. Engine issue, boom, out of the race, killed what we would have seen as a Lewis, Max, Kimi front three battle. What that would have created and what would have happened, who knows? But I think that would have been way more entertaining than what we did see. I think there would have been some sort of Lewis Max battling going on. I think Kimi, again, was just too far gone for anyone else, but I think there would have been a lot more competitiveness. And yeah, it's unfortunate that happened for Max. Lap 1 had to retire the car, so completely out of it. Lando Norris, he had an engine issue as well, where he had to retire the car. Sky Sports, again, I'm not happy with the coverage that they had. The commentators, they were not on the ball. They had Lando Norris.
We're going to box this lap and retire the car. We're going to box the lap and retire the car.
They didn't even acknowledge it. They were barely acknowledging it until, I don't even know when they did, but it was slow to react to what was going on screens. And then that Kim Kardashian content, I don't know why they wanted to have so much content on Kim Kardashian, Sky Sports. It was a joke. Every single day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Q1, Q2, Q3 probably, FP1, FP2, FP3, the race, everything was to do with Kardashians at some point. They even asked Toto Wolff, at the end of the race, post-race, you're asking Toto Wolff what were your conversations about with Kim. We've just seen Himi, another race win from Himi Antonelli. We've just seen we want to know what's going on in George Russell's head right now, and instead you're asking, what was your conversation with Kim Kardashian about? Bro, what? Nah, I don't know. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's not what I'm here. That's not what I'm watching you guys and analyze the race for. I don't want to hear any of that, man. Like, come on, you got to do better. She's going to be at a few more races, and if that's going to be the content and that's what they're going to do each race, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it at all. They've got to do better, man, for real. So you have Sky Sports. Sky Sports really do need to do a better job there, and their content hasn't been amazing this season. I go back to my gripe with them and their timing tower. I still don't understand why they went from the 3 decimal places to a single decimal place when everything in F1 is fine margins. We need those 3 decimal places to understand a lot of the distances and the gaps in order to know whether the person behind's got that boost activation or not. So why they decided to dumb it down to 1 decimal place is beyond me. But yeah, hopefully for the Barcelona Grand Prix, Sky do a much better job. For the Barcelona Grand Prix, Leclerc is going to also hope that he has a better job, because yeah, he was not happy at all after his DNF. Safety car restart, crashes just when the race is about to get going again. He's adamant the brakes are the problem. He is not happy with his setup. He even spoke about it on Sky, saying that he's not happy with the setup. I think he's going to go more in the direction of what Lewis has been going in these last few weeks. We can see the difference night and day. Lewis has outperformed him in the last 2 weeks for sure. Lewis has really looked comfortable in the car, and Leclerc has looked anything but comfortable. So Leclerc is really going to have to take some notes on what Lewis is doing setup-wise, what he's doing with the brakes, and maybe trying to mix and match some of that into what he's doing in order for him to get the best out of his car as well. Because, come on, Leclerc's no slouch. We know the quality that he has. But for him to really, really not be happy with the car, he's got to do something that Lewis is doing right, because Lewis is looking amazing right now. And I could genuinely see them two fighting for that P2, P3, because with the way George Russell's up and down, that P2 spot could be anyone's. I think Kimi has it covered. I think Kimi is going to win his first championship. He's going to break a load of records this season. But we'll see. But Lewis Hamilton is definitely looking on fire. Lewis Hamilton looks like he is rejuvenated this season. He's gotten to really work with the car the way he wants to, delivering the information that he needs, getting the information that he needs from the team, getting the team to deliver the updates the way that he needs them to be done, or at least where his input is being taken into account. And we're seeing the results in these last few weeks. Hopefully it will continue, but we'll see. Hadjar. You see Hadjar? How he managed to stay on that podium, beyond me. What a drive from him, I'll be honest. What a drive from him. That was serious defensive actions that he had to display, keeping Russell at bay the whole time with engine issues. But that's what Monaco is great for, isn't it? You may have engine issues, but as long as you can position your car, you're never really going to be in trouble. And that's what Hadjar done. He played to his strengths right now, which was he had track position and made sure that he stuck to it, even through the safety car restarts, managed to hold position, and obviously stayed with Gasly just enough to be able to secure his podium. I think that was his first podium with Red Bull, so it's an amazing achievement for him. Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, Isaac Hadjar podium was amazing as well. I loved that, and hopefully many more to come. Different layouts would be nice. Maybe a Hadjar win, maybe Lewis get another win, but it was great to see all three of them really doing well in that Monaco Grand Prix. My last thing I want to say is congratulations to Aston Martin, and it's so unfortunate for Cadillac. Cadillac almost scored their first point in Formula One. But what happens? Sergio Perez gets a penalty. Sergio Perez gets a penalty for being outside of his grid box, not once, but twice. How do you do that twice? That's rookie errors from a very senior driver. They'll have to look back, and he'll have to, someone's going to have to ask him what was going on in his mind there. Who knows? But Aston Martin, they stuck to it. Alonso drove well, and yeah, he managed to get his first points of the season. So Aston Martin finally off the mark. I'm going to leave it with this. That race was anything but entertaining for the purposes of racing. That's not why what's not what I watch racing for. I don't watch racing for all of the mishaps and the problems that may occur, or the FIA, the stewards getting involved. I watch racing because I want to see the overtakes. I want to see all of the lines that the different drivers take. I want to see all of the back and forth, obviously the strategy as well. There needs to be something that is done to the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, also, the race had to be red flagged because of the track coming apart. Like, what? You've just extended the contract. You've just resurfaced the track. And the race had to be stopped because part of the track was coming off. That's where Stroll had his accident. That's where Leclerc also had his accident. Both identical, both in the exact same position, exact same corner, exact same incident. It's ridiculous. But if Monaco is going to stay on the F1 circuit calendar, something's going to need to be done to make it more entertaining. I don't know what that is personally. I've seen them try over these years and they failed each time, but something else needs to be done, because otherwise it's just a great Saturday race. It's a great Saturday race and that's it. Sunday, you're just watching it for the sake of being there rather than watching the actual racing and the entertainment. So, yeah, we're looking forward to Barcelona. Again, that's a much more engine-powered track. You're going to see, hopefully, a lot more overtaking with the new regulations. That's what they're there for. And, yeah, we'll see. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this video. If you have, like and subscribe. Appreciate all of the comments, anything, suggestions. But, yeah, building a community here. F1 Soze. Let's go.